Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Parasha Pointers, where we delve into the weekly Parasha to get insight of how to raise our children. Well, we're entering Sukkot and there's a lot of things I want to talk about, namely happiness. I want to first touch upon this week's Parasha, which really is not going to be on Shabbat, it's going to be in the middle of the holiday. But it's Vezot Haberacha, and I saw something really fantastic. The Pasuk says, Ashrecha Yisrael, mi kamocha. Fortunate are you, Israel. Who's like you? Listen to these words. Am nosha b'Adonai. A nation, a people that's delivered by Hashem. Your protecting shield, your sword, triumphant. Your enemies shall come cringing before you. Unbelievable pasuk. This is Moshe Rabbeinu at the end of his life, giving this pep talk to the Jewish people. And he's saying that you're an amazing nation. That Rashi explains these words. When it says the words, a people delivered by Hashem, that's not a one-time occurrence. It's talking about a characteristic of our people. We are a people that is delivered by Hashem. You do not have to have belief anymore. Just look at history. This was written thousands of years ago. Yet you look through history, we are a nation that has been delivered by Hashem time and time again. We want our children to be happy. We want to see simcha. This is zman simchatenu. That's what Sukkot is. It's a time of our happiness. What is a source of happiness for a person? So the first point I want to make is a source of happiness for a human being is to know that Hashem has your back. You are from the nation that's called the nation that is a people delivered by Hashem. Wow. And they have to hear this. Your children have to hear this. You have to hear this. I have to hear this. We have to know. Look through history. Just look through history. Through getting sent out of Spain, getting sent out of England, pogroms, you name it, the Holocaust. I mean, I could go on and on. Yet, we've always been delivered by Hashem. So this is the first thing I want to say. And there's also on a personal note, you have to share with your children, I had this and this problem, and look what happened. They see that, oh wow, Hashem takes care of my father. Hashem takes care of my mother. And he's going to take care of me also. Another point I want to talk about, it says in Pirkei Avot the following. It says, he who increases possessions increases worry. Right? Marbe nechasim, marbe da'aga. And also it says, Ezehu ashir hasamech behelko. Who is the wealthy person? This is said by Ben Zoma. Who is a happy person? Is a person who what? He's happy with what he has. Now Sukkot is a time to really, really talk about this message. Sukkot is a time we really delve into it. And we talk about going into this temporary dwelling. What is it? It's like a hut. That's where we're going to be happy. I have a beautiful house. Gorgeous house. Why would I do that, right? And the answer is, yeah. That's where you get happiness. When you realize that this world is just temporary, and you go into that little hut, and you learn how to be happy with the things that are really important. The society around us just tells us money, wealth, cars, homes. If that's how we're going to measure success, that's rough. Sukkot is a time to leave that, to go into that hut. It doesn't cost much. I mean, you could buy an expensive sukkah, but it's really supposed to be very cheap. Some branches and some walls. And you tell your child, this is where we're happy. Because this world is temporary. We're happy in this hut. You know why? Because we can focus on the things that we can build. We could build our relationship with Hashem. We could build our character traits. We shouldn't spend our time focusing on building things that don't last. That's what it's all about. That's what Sukkot is about. It's about creating in our children the proper perspective of what creates happiness. Not when I fulfill my desires per se, but when I grow spiritually, when I get close to Hashem. This is really what we have to talk about. And of course they could have things. By the way, after you're in the sukkah, you could go back into the house now because you have the right perspective of how to use the things of this world, not as an end in itself, but as a conduit and a means to grow spiritually. I wish everybody a beautiful Sukkot. Let's all focus on the things we can control. We can't control the laws, we can't control the viruses, we cannot do any of that. There's one thing that we could control. our growth, our relationship with Hashem, our mitzvot, our ma'asim tovim. And this is what we want for our children. And this is what our children have to know. If they're going to be built in a house, they constantly hear how much money was made, how much wealth, cars, this. That's what they're going to be gunning for in their lives. We don't want that for our children. We want them to have all those things. But the goal is spiritual growth. So all those things is an ability to give tzedakah, to have guests, and to do great things. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. Tezku Shem Rabot Nemo V'Tavot.